The sparrow, a small brown bird, often overlooked in the bustle of our daily lives. These tiny birds, with their unassuming presence, blend seamlessly into the background of our urban and rural landscapes. Yet, their existence is far from insignificant. These tiny creatures, with their cheerful chirps and fluttering wings, play a crucial role in the intricate web of life. They are not just background noise, they are active participants in the ecosystem, contributing to the health and balance of their environment. They are part of a delicate balance, a symphony of nature that ensures the continuation of life as we know it. Their interactions with other species, from insects to plants, create a network of relationships that sustain the natural world. But what happens when this balance is disrupted? When the sparrows disappear, the ripple effects can be profound, affecting not just other birds but entire ecosystems. What happens when the unassuming sparrow becomes a harbinger of disaster? Their sudden absence or overabundance can signal deeper environmental issues, warning us of the fragility of our natural world. History whispers a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things. The story of the sparrow is not just about a bird. It is about the delicate balance of nature and the consequences of human interference. It is a tale of unintended consequences, of human actions that tipped the scales of nature, leading to a crisis that threatened the very fabric of a nation. When we disrupt the natural order, we often face unforeseen repercussions that can be devastating. This is the story of how the humble sparrow, a creature so small, almost brought a nation to its knees. Their story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of every species in maintaining the balance of our world and the potential consequences when that balance is disturbed. The year is 1958. China, a vast land with a rich history and a population on the brink of a struggle for survival. The shadow of famine loomed large, a constant threat in a nation grappling with the challenges of feeding its people. Years of hardship had taken their toll. The land, once fertile and bountiful, seemed to sigh under the weight of its burden. Harvests were dwindling, and the specter of hunger stalked the land. It was in this climate of uncertainty and fear that a seemingly innocuous creature, the sparrow, would come to play an outsized role in a drama that would unfold on a national scale. Sparrows, with their voracious appetites, were identified as a significant threat to the nation's already dwindling grain supply. These small, seemingly harmless birds were consuming vast quantities of grain that was crucial for feeding the human population. It was widely believed that these small birds consumed a significant amount of grain, contributing to the food shortages that plagued the nation. The sight of sparrows in the fields became a symbol of lost sustenance. Grain that was desperately needed to feed the human population was being devoured by these birds. Farmers toiled day and night, only to see their hard-earned harvests diminish. The government, desperate to avert a looming catastrophe, launched a nationwide campaign to eradicate the sparrow. Propaganda posters and announcements urged citizens to take action. Millions of citizens were mobilized, armed with pots, pans, and an unwavering determination to save their crops. Communities came together in a unified effort to drive away the sparrows. The skies thundered with the din of human activity, a relentless assault on the sparrow population. The noise was deafening, a cacophony of clanging metal and shouting voices. The campaign was deemed a success. The sparrow population dwindled, and people celebrated their victory over the tiny birds. The skies, once filled with the chatter and flutter of sparrows, fell eerily silent. The absence of the birds was palpable, a quiet that felt unnatural. But this silence was a harbinger of a different kind of storm, a storm that would soon engulf the nation. Without the sparrows, the balance of nature was disrupted, leading to unforeseen consequences that would challenge the very survival of the people. The Four Pests campaign, as it was officially known, was a nationwide initiative launched by the Chinese government in 1958. This campaign was part of the larger Great Leap Forward, an ambitious plan to rapidly transform China from an agrarian society into an industrialized nation. Its aim was to eradicate pests deemed detrimental to agricultural production, particularly grain. The government identified 4 main pests: rats, flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows. These pests were believed to be responsible for the destruction of crops and the spread of diseases. Among these targeted pests was the sparrow. Sparrows were singled out because they were thought to consume large quantities of grain seeds, thereby reducing the overall yield of crops. The campaign was rolled out with military precision and unwavering zeal. The government mobilized millions of citizens, including schoolchildren, to take part in the eradication efforts. Citizens were encouraged, even obligated, to participate. Propaganda posters and public announcements urged everyone to join the fight against the pests, portraying it as a patriotic duty. The methods employed were often brutal and relentless. People used a variety of techniques to kill the sparrows, including poisoning, trapping, and shooting them. The sound of firecrackers and the banging of pots and pans filled the air, intended to prevent sparrows from landing, forcing them to fly until they dropped from exhaustion. This method was particularly effective in driving the birds to their deaths. Nests were destroyed, eggs smashed, and chicks killed. The campaign left no stone unturned in its quest to eliminate the sparrows. The campaign was deemed a success, with millions of sparrows eradicated. The government reported significant reductions in the sparrow population, believing this would lead to increased grain production. The government and the people believed they had triumphed over a formidable foe, unaware of the ecological backlash that awaited them. The elimination of sparrows led to a surge in the insect population, which in turn caused even greater damage to crops, highlighting the unintended consequences of such a drastic measure. The silence that descended upon the land following the Great Sparrow Campaign was eerie, unsettling. The absence of the sparrow's familiar chirps and flits was a stark reminder of the campaign's effectiveness, a testament to human determination and might. But this silence was deceptive, a brief interlude in a much larger ecological drama. The sparrows, though voracious eaters of grain, also played a vital role in controlling insect populations. With their natural predators removed, insect populations exploded, wreaking havoc on crops across the country. What was intended as a solution had inadvertently exacerbated the very problem it sought to solve. The consequences of the Great Sparrow Campaign were swift and devastating. The ecological balance, disrupted by the mass extermination of sparrows, tipped precariously. Insect populations, once kept in check by the sparrows, surged, devouring crops and leaving behind a trail of devastation. The very grain the campaign aimed to protect was now under attack, not by sparrows, but by a plague of insects. The already precarious food security of the nation was pushed to the brink, and China plunged into one of the most catastrophic famines in human history. The Great Sparrow Campaign serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance that governs our natural world. It underscores the interconnectedness of all living things and the unintended consequences that can arise from our attempts to manipulate this intricate web of life. The eradication of sparrows, though seemingly a solution to a pressing problem, had the opposite effect. It disrupted the natural order, unleashing a cascade of unintended and devastating consequences that rippled through the ecosystem. The lesson is clear. We cannot operate in isolation, tampering with one element of the ecosystem without considering the potential repercussions on the whole. The story of the Great Sparrow Campaign is a sobering lesson in the importance of ecological literacy. It underscores the need for a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things and the potential repercussions of human actions on the delicate balance of nature. It highlights the danger of viewing individual species in isolation, labeling them as good or bad without considering their role within the larger ecosystem. The sparrows, though perceived as a threat to grain production, played a vital role in pest control, a role that became glaringly apparent in their absence. This tragedy serves as a stark reminder that we must move beyond simplistic solutions and embrace a more holistic understanding of the natural world. The ecological disaster that unfolded in the wake of the Great Sparrow Campaign underscores the urgent need for sustainable solutions to address food security and pest control. We must move away from short-sighted interventionist approaches and embrace methods that work in harmony with nature, not against it. This includes promoting biodiversity, encouraging natural pest control methods, and adopting agricultural practices that prioritize ecological balance. Integrated pest management, for example, offers a more sustainable and effective approach, focusing on long-term prevention and minimal environmental impact. By working with nature, rather than against it, we can create a more resilient and abundant future for all. The Great Sparrow Campaign is a stark reminder of the potential consequences of human actions on the natural world. It is a story etched in the annals of history, a cautionary tale that underscores the importance of ecological awareness and the need for sustainable practices. The famine that followed the campaign, a direct result of ecological imbalance, serves as a somber reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things and the need for careful consideration of the potential consequences of our actions. This tragedy must serve as a catalyst for change, a call to action to protect and preserve the delicate balance of nature. The story of the Great Sparrow Campaign is not just a historical event. It is a stark reminder of our shared responsibility to protect and preserve the natural world. It highlights the importance of making informed decisions, understanding the potential ecological consequences of our actions, and working towards sustainable solutions. It is a call for greater awareness, for a deeper understanding of the delicate balance of nature, and for a commitment to working in harmony with the natural world, not against it. The future of our planet and our own survival depends on it.